Hi! Welcome to Luxury in Moderation, where we appreciate the finer things in life without going overboard. Today I wanted to give you guys an update on what's happening with me and my local Hermes boutique because I did have to go in and exchange a towel, so some developments came from that visit and I wanted to share that and give you guys some tips when it comes to developing a relationship with your SA if you're interested in that. Before we get into it, if you're new here, welcome. My name's Joanne and on this channel I upload videos about luxury handbags and other luxury lifestyle products. So if you like this kind of content, please remember to like and subscribe below. And please excuse my background right now. I'm in the middle of reorganizing and I definitely want to share with you guys a new office and handbag display setup when it's ready, but that's going to be a while. So right now I just have a lot of H boxes displayed so you can see how much damage I've done at Hermes. And these are only the big boxes. There's also little smaller boxes nestled within all of these. But now let's jump straight into what I exchanged for that defective hand towel, and I will cut to a video of that unboxing because I did unbox it already and have started using it. So now that you've seen what it actually is, I wanted to share my thoughts on this mosaic creamer. So even before I knew I had to go in and exchange that hand towel, I had taken my own advice and didn't actively think of, oh, what can I buy at Hermes? Instead, I was just going about my daily life, not focusing on spending money, and I've been getting into this new coffee routine with me working from home now, trying to figure out, what's the best way for me to energize myself in the morning and what that's going to be. And it's really fun for me to kind of experiment with foaming my milk. I don't have an espresso machine or anything like that, but it is a interest of mine and I'm thinking I want to learn more about it. In the meantime, I have been experimenting with different milks and what tastes the best for myself. So I had just been pouring some milk in a regular cup and hand foaming it that way when it hit me that, oh, it would be really nice to have a really fulfilling ritual in the morning where I can, feel good about starting my day, and that does involve a little bit of luxury. So that's what triggered me to think, like, is there a better place I can prepare my milk? And then that went into like, oh, like Hermes also has creamers. Let me look into that. So I wasn't expecting this creamer to be so big. When I was looking at photos, I thought it would be like half the size. However, when I did look up the measurement or size of this, it said that it was 10 ounces, which I was like, is that a mistake? That sounds like so much. And I wasn't just looking at the mosaic collection, I was also looking at the other Hermes collections, and I think the other creamers that they have, the vessels are a little bit more my style. It's like a classic embellished handle, whereas this one I do feel is a little bit more modern, but those other creamers were smaller. And I definitely knew that I did need a larger vessel in order to make all the foam. So when I went in to exchange the towel, I did go in on a Monday, I believe, and I told my SA, this is what I'm interested in, and I wasn't even sure if they had it in the store. When I said it, she was like, oh yeah, we have that. Like, totally, we have a ton. When I saw it in person for the first time, I was, again, very surprised at how large it was, which was perfect for me because I needed the big size. And then they had both the mosaic with the gold here and also the mosaic with just the silver. I was able to compare the two. I wasn't 100% sure which way I was going to go because I think gold can look a little much sometimes, but obviously in the end I went with this one. So now I do have my mosaic creamer as well as my little square tray in this mosaic gold pattern. I do have another mosaic all silver cup, which is not here for reasons I will explain later. So I have been playing around with foaming milk in this. I haven't perfected it, and I need to learn a lot more about making latte art because that's my ultimate goal. But it's just kind of fun to see and use this every time I make coffee because it is just a nice little luxurious touch. So now let's get into some of those updates I mentioned since my last video where I said, you know, spending way too much at Hermes. I wanted to slow it down a little bit. When I went in to get this mosaic creamer, that was about mid-August. I shared that I went in on a Monday, which I think is very significant because it was a quieter day. On the weekend, like on Saturday, my SA is so busy running around with not only her other clients who can't come in on a weekday, but also, you know, new people shopping, maybe tourists, I don't know what. But I do recommend, if you can, to go in when your SA or when the store is less busy in order to really facilitate meaningful conversations with your SA, because that's when he or she can really think about, you know, what is it that you need. Of course, they're doing that on weekends as well, but it's more like, let me help this and get through, and there's other people waiting and they have that weighing on their mind. Whereas if it's on a slower day, then they can really sit there and think with you and brainstorm with you, you know, what works for your lifestyle a little bit more. So I think that definitely helped. I've mostly seen my SA on weekdays, usually at the end of the day after I finish up my work for the day. But I think a lot of these developments happened because I was there when no one else was, so she and I could really get into some more interesting conversation rather than, oh, you want to purchase this? Okay, let me bring you up. So after I had picked out this mosaic, you know, my SA always asked me, is there anything else I can help you with? And I did have a couple other things on my mind. For example, I was interested in a rodeo, so I brought that up and I said, you know, I would really be interested in that. Do you guys ever have that come into the store, or how does that work? Because I truly did not know. And she explained that sometimes when the rodeos come in, they get assigned to her and then she's able to offer it to her clients that are interested in it. Otherwise, they might not be assigned to any particular SA and they just go out on the shop floor, which then it's kind of like first come, first serve. Whoever walks in and sees it first can buy it. So because they didn't have any rodeos in the store that day, that's what prompted her to ask me, oh, let's put that on your wish list. Have I started one for you yet? And she hadn't asked me this before. I was really excited that she brought up the term wish list. I was like, this is kind of the next phase with my SA. So she did start a list for me, and then after she took down my notes on what I preferred for the rodeo, again, she asked me, you know, what else? Is there anything else that you like? And this is when I did bring up the fact that I do want a smaller Birkin. Rewinding just a little bit before that conversation, I had brought my Birkin 30 into the store that day when I was making the exchange, and I had set it down when I was looking at the creamers, and she did make a comment like, oh, your bag is so gorgeous. So I shared my whole story about how I got it in Paris and how much I loved the bag. So when she asked me what else is on my wish list, the fact that we had talked about my current Birkin 30, it gave me a good opening to share that, oh, as much as I love my 30, I would also love a Birkin 25. In fact, I had actually said, oh, I would love a smaller 25, and she clarified like, oh, do you mean a Birkin or a Kelly? Because she was like, you know, some people want like one Birkin and one Kelly, others only want Birkins or Kellys. So she definitely asked those clarifying questions, so I knew that she was really listening and really cared about taking the right notes for me. Now, of course, after I did bring up the Birkin, she shared that, you know, that would be quite difficult. People are still waiting like a year out because people who were scheduled to have a Birkin offer in 2020 or 2021, they're still waiting because the stock has been slower. So I was like, oh yeah, no problem, there's no rush. But she did share that, you know, if there's any other bags, and she suggested maybe like the Lindy or the Evelyn, those would be easier. So I'm very happy that she was being transparent with me. The fact that she brought up these other bags, and knowing that, you know, she was willing to consider me for those bags if they became available. I have to then be the one to limit myself and understand if I really want those bags in my life, and really think about where I want to spend my money. But at least I knew that, you know, Hermes and the boutique wasn't the one limiting my choices. I was the one to make the decision for myself in this case. So I was a little bit nervous asking for a Birkin at that time because it was the first time we had brought up a wish list. We hadn't talked about a lot of other bag options, and I was thinking like, oh, should I not ask that the first time, you know, we're talking about a wish list? Should I wait until like another visit or another time she brings it up? But I also wanted to be brave and just, you know, ask for what I want. So I wanted to be true to myself instead of letting the Hermes system like intimidate me. And that's another topic I want to talk about in the next video. But I shared that I did want a darker color because I was afraid of color transfer, didn't want to deal with that. So she dug deeper. She's like, oh, what colors? So I was thinking like dark purple or blue. And even though she ended that conversation by bringing up like, oh, are you sure you don't want to like put a Evelyn or a Lindy on the wish list? And that kind of discouraged me because I knew that, you know, she's kind of pushing me towards non-quota bag first due to stock or other reasons. At least I, you know, was upfront with her so she knew, you know, what I was interested in. So that visit again happened over 1 month ago, and since texting her when I got home, I haven't communicated at all. I was worried during this whole time if she had forgotten about me completely, because I haven't gone in and spent any money for over a month. And even though we had talked about a wish list, it was just, you know, one conversation, one time. But actually I was very pleasantly surprised because just this past week she texted me because a beautiful bicolor blue picotin came in the store, and she, I guess, had remembered that I really liked the dark blue tones, so that's why she was like, oh, are you interested in this? So I was just so relieved for her to text me, and she had kept my wish list in mind. She had kept my preferences in mind. So it was wonderful to know that, and I'm a little bit more confident that, you know, she hadn't forgotten our conversation. In regards to the picotin, I did want to share that I had no hesitation in turning it down. Of course, I thanked her and shared that it was a beautiful color, but I did say that I wasn't sure if a picotin was the right bag for me at this time. That's a whole nother conclusion that I came to that I can share with you guys if you're interested. So let me know in the comments below. But I really want to focus on the bags that I think will be useful in my life right now, and I'm just not sure the shape of the picotin, the way you have to hold it, is the best for me. That was really interesting that I, you know, had a really great conversation with my essay. We started a wish list together, and then she has texted me this bag offer. These are all things that are new to me because I didn't have this experience in my old boutique. So I just wanted to share that all with you guys. I hope this has been helpful if you guys are building a relationship with your essay. I don't have all the answers, but I just wanted to share some of the really great things and developments that happened, and also some of the other realistic things that we're all going through, like not being able to buy expensive things every month. So thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate you guys spending your time with me. If you have any questions, please let me know in the comments below because I want to be a great resource for you guys. If you like this video, please remember to like, subscribe, and ring that notification bell, and I can't wait to see you in the next video. Bye!